Hello everyone, how you going, and welcome back to World That Sucks, a place that can strangely enough kind of improve your day. You know, if you were thinking that you're having a bad day and then you see one of these posts and you go, well, I guess that does suck, and I guess I'm not having a bad day as these people are. And so in that regard, regardless of whether the posts are funny or just ludicrous, it really just can improve your day. But anyway, let's jump straight into it, shall we? So let's start it off with Red Robin has pizza now, but when you customize the order, it defaults to no cheese and no sauce. I didn't notice until I got home from the curbside pickup. Oh, well, come on now, that is just ridiculous. It doesn't even look as though the base is even cooked. I mean, I guess on the side here there is a little bit of a burn bit, but come on. But how the hell is that a default? Surely there has to be some kind of just glitch, or at least if nothing else, just some kind of coding, just randomness, because there is no way that I can actually see anyone doing this on purpose. You know, like, who would default a pizza to be having just no sauce and no cheese either? I mean, it definitely makes for a good post, and so you're getting some kind of very strange advertising out there in that regard, but at the same time, surely this isn't the kind of thing that you want to be remembered by, because even though everyone always says, oh, well, there's no bad advertising or anything like that, well, come on, no one wants that as a pizza if you can even call it a pizza anymore. And also, thinking about it, surely some degree of this pizza is made by a human, and so surely the person that made it was going, well, hang on a second here, no one has ever ordered this before, or perhaps actually I guess in saying that you probably get a 50 orders like this a day because no one is going to be looking at the default, but really you just go, okay, obviously no one is actually going to order a pizza without cheese and sauce and everything like that, and so you just kind of fix up the order for them and not think that there's some kind of psychopath that would do that. And hey, this person is certainly not to blame in terms of checking their pizza. You know, like, who opens up the pizza box unless you're either starving and you just want to write them, but no one really, if you order a stack of pizzas, is just going to go and open up every single box and just looking for, especially for nothing like this. And so what can I say? It is 100% a Well That Sucks post, because you'll just be going, oh, well, it's just kind of ruined my day. You know, I was going after pizza, I really want a pizza, and now I just have to have kind of half a pizza, or I don't even know how that metric works. Honestly, it's just kind of a pizza on a diet. You know, you're not getting the fat of the cheese, you're not getting the fat and all the other kind of stuff of the sauce. You were just going to be getting the protein from the meat, and that I guess the base isn't probably the most healthy thing, but without everything else, who knows? It's basically just bread, and bread isn't the worst thing for you. So look, unless this place is somehow just theming that every single person needs to be having this diet pizza and that is what the default should be, then really I just don't see how this could actually be a thing besides just being some kind of coding glitch, like I said, or I don't know, but no, just maybe even just like kind of, I don't know, if you ordered on a mobile app experience kind of thing, because perhaps if you ordered online it would be fine, you wouldn't end up with a pizza like this, but when you order on your mobile it just isn't really optimized or anything, so hey, it just doesn't really work out too well for you, does it? And also, thinking about it, I don't really know anyone, unless they're just probably living on their own, that orders one pizza, and so to do this happen to a whole bundle of pizzas, that is certainly something I'd love to know, because if it's done this to multiple pizzas, your entire pizza night's ruined, well, that definitely does suck. Ordered a new Chlorinator for the pool. The instructions came on VHS. Now, hang on a second, I kind of almost don't feel as though that's Well That Sucks, because really it's kind of awesome, but at the same time just impressive that this product has managed to be around since the VHS days. I mean, yes, obviously if you actually do need the instructions, it's going to be a hell of a pain to actually kind of get them off that or be able to view them, because I would feel fairly confident in saying that most people don't have a VHS, or even if they do have one, that it still works. But just look at this thing, the fact that it's still wrapped in plastic. I mean, actually it says 2010 on there, so that's actually pretty impressive that these people were still making, well, I guess instruction manuals on VHS in 2010. I feel as though surely they could have been like an email send or something even in 2010. It's not the 1980s. But to be honest, I'm sure if you actually went onto their website, they probably have an entire kind of PDF instruction manual that you could download and really just have to skip this entire step, because seeing the fact that this is wrapped in plastic, I can only assume you aren't the only person that's going to be having this issue, so you could probably actually just skip the PDF online and just kind of search it up on YouTube. There's bound to be some kind of video about it on YouTube if this is actually a problem that multiple people are experiencing. But no, as confusing as it would be to open up and just receiving a VHS tape, I actually kind of love that this is still something that is just going around. Even the fact that they are posting this around, I mean, I guess in the scheme of things, when you order a Chlorinator, this might not be the biggest component, but it certainly adds a little bit of size to the entire postage. And so I certainly hope that this didn't come in a separate box and they're paying for postage of just a VHS, because really that is just an insane waste of money when, like I said, you just kind of put it on a PDF to make it easier and more accessible for everyone. Or look, maybe I'm just completely wrong about the entire thing. It isn't actually cool at all. You know, maybe it's just some insane marketing ploy to just get people just rushing out to buy VHS players again. You know, they're in cahoots with another company, or maybe even just as a parent company, and they're just going, you know what, if we actually make these people that need the instruction manuals on a VHS, then we're probably going to sell a whole bundle more players. But no, really, obviously, I have absolutely no idea why anyone will be bothering to do this, let alone even just be sending it out to customers, because surely, like I said, you just went getting phone calls and complaints all the time going, well, I can't install this, and so I guess that's another reason maybe they just want people to be having the knowledge and even just getting a professional to install it. Come on, people should be able to kind of have the knowledge and just even be able to do it themselves if they really wanted to. But on the other hand, if it is being sent out under good pretenses, really I don't understand why it would be, but at the same time I just love it if it is, and really just, hey, why not, you know? Even though everyone should be trying to cut down on plastic waste, at the same time it is just something very random and kind of cool about the idea of this entire thing. Let's talk outside. Oh no, that just makes me, oh god, I don't even know what to say about this one. They're just all mosquitoes all over you. I don't even know how you've been able to take that photo with even just with open eyes, because I don't know about if this is just for other people, but I just find every fly or just mosquito always wants to go for my ears or my eyes. It definitely definitely flies as well. But man, you're just going to be absolutely covered. That is insane. I mean, unless you're just kind of some iron skin and they're just all kind of crowding on top of you because they're just kind of gang up and just to kind of actually get through your skin, and they can't. But really, I just don't understand how this lady has been able to kind of just stand there with all those mosquitoes. Don't get me wrong, I can certainly tolerate some mosquitoes and tolerate some flies, but everyone has to admit that even just the sound of the mosquito, let alone the bite that comes after, is just so annoying. So if you can avoid the entire thing and just kind of get them a little bit beforehand, you know, just a little bit of a squish, then that is definitely recommended. But I just don't understand how she's allowed herself to get into this situation. It just makes me, oh my god, is they gonna drain you dry? And also, I must say that I just completely love the juxtaposition. You know, you've got happy flowers, just like a Bob Ross painting in the background, and then you've just got the mosquitoes that are just kind of completely destroying the entire image, just make everyone go, oh no god, or at least it does for me. And I mean, I guess it definitely makes sense considering nature is often that balance. You know, you just have all these pretty bits, and then all of a sudden just a cheetah comes out and just kind of, I don't know, devours some animals or something like that. Or really, I guess this mosquito plague does make sense considering there's got to be a whole boatload of water around for all those flowers to be spawning. So that really is just a mosquito breeding ground heaven. But no, it certainly does not take away from the fact that this lady was certainly not prepared at all before going for this walk or this bike ride, because it almost looks like there's a bike in the background, but she just needed to kind of lather on the high strength mosquito repellent before she did any of this. Or hey, at least to kind of get it off your neck and everything like that, just be wearing a jumper, well, not a jumper, but just a long sleeve or something like that. And then at least, even though that kind of means they're going to be more concentrated to your face, at least you don't have to be just wearing as much insect repellent. So there are definitely ways to go about dealing with this kind of thing if you know that this is going to be a problem, or maybe even just if it could be a problem. But because even though at the moment you're just going to be dealing with all the noise of them just surrounding you at all times, and even just you can kind of just feel them all over you, at the same time that is going to be absolutely nothing compared to tomorrow, where you're just going to be just, well, I don't even know what to describe it besides the surface of the moon or something, just all these just mosquito bites all over you, and oh man, you were just going to be one itchy person, and I certainly don't envy you. So look, I guess we can just all take it as an educational thing. If you're going to be going out and you just don't really know what it could be, but really if you're going to be going out where it just could be a little bit of water and it's a nice hot day, or it has been a nice hot area in the summer, then please just do a little bit of consideration towards all the insects, just so you don't end up just being the itchiest person alive the next day. I mean, if you can tolerate it, that's up to you, but come on, if I feel as though if we can avoid a well that sucks moment now and also tomorrow, then that is definitely something that everyone should be wanting. I got trapped in a turnstile and I had to call the police. There was a green lit arrow above it to make me think I could go through. Oh no, so obviously we kind of know what's going to happen. Let's just see what the situation is like. Oh, he just wants to go for a run as well. It's not like he's trying to break into anything, or I mean, obviously I hope not, but really just the fact that someone's actually trying to exercise and then he just gets stuck in a turnstile. Man, those things are just solid steel as well. Oh no, that is ridiculous. Wait, hang on a second. It looks like it actually has been spinning the wrong way. Wait, is that some kind of just reverse exit one or something? That is insane. What the hell? I mean, at least he suddenly seems to have a good attitude about the entire thing, but really I just don't understand how something like this would even happen. I mean, oh man, look at that. He almost looks as though he would fit. I mean, I'm sure your head would actually be nowhere near fitting through those bars, and that's probably the entire point. But no, that poor guy's entire day was changed. And like I said, he just wanted to be going to the track, just to be doing a little bit of running or discus or shot put, or who knows what. It doesn't even matter. Either way, it's going to be exercise, unless you're just going to be sitting there on their phone. But then after having good intentions, you just go, hang on a second, I think I'm trapped in here. You know, I can't push it this way. I certainly can't go through this way because this is the locked off side. And so how the hell is this going to work? I mean, in saying that, even though we did say in the title that it was a green arrow, I would love to see kind of an external view of the entire thing, just to see if there was anything obvious, and maybe something that once you got out, you go, oh, okay, I'm guessing the hindsight of things, I probably shouldn't have made that mistake. But either way, it certainly does not excuse the fact that this guy managed to even get there in the first place. Like, really, that should not be able to be the case. You know, it looks as though there was one on the other side that's kind of an entry and an exit system, and so how the hell did it even get there? Because I feel as though generally when there is a place with a turnstile, they're kind of just limiting it to a certain amount of numbers, and or just even people in general. And so is this guy paying a membership to be able to get in here, or really just how does it work in terms of getting in and out? Is it a swipe like I said? And so if it is a swipe, then surely you would have been there before and just know what your way around, or just why the hell is he even able to get there in the first place? Or really, why is there a turnstile? And really, as well as all those questions that I have about the entire situation, I just wish this video continued and just how to show the police turning up and show the, well, whoever turned up, whether it be the fire department, and just how they actually went about getting him out. You know, was it just a kind of a secret lock that they need a special key for, or just how do you actually get someone out of a solid iron cage? But hey, either way, like I said, it definitely just completely changes the entire trajectory of your day, you know, and it's definitely a well that sucks moment, because you would just go, oh, I was so motivated to go to the track and just do what I wanted to do, and then really I just got the entire day ruined. And also, if you ever want to be going there again, you're just going to be constantly reminded by the fact that you just got stuck in the cage last time, and so you might not really want to go there anymore because you don't want it to happen again. And I can't think of anyone or any business that would want to be discouraging people from exercising, so it just really doesn't make sense to me and how this would even happen in the first place. But surely there has to be some kind of fault along there at some point. And also, thinking about it, it does make me wonder, did no one else come to the track or even leave the track at the same time during this entire process? Because regardless of who comes, whether it be the police or the fireys or both, it doesn't really matter. Really, it's going to take them a while to kind of figure out what they can do to get you out of there. And so would I be running to thinking that no one throughout this entire entire time period actually went or left the track, because it definitely seems that there's another turnstile there. But hey, if they get trapped too, then they're just going to have a constant cycle, and just it's going to keep going round and round and round, kind of like the turnstile, just so people are getting trapped. So look, I'm sure by the title, in terms of he had to call the police and everything, I'm sure it ended up with a happy ending. But really, it would be quite a kind of dangerous or just even kind of scary situation if someone got locked in there and there was just no one around. And even though obviously you could call the police, really you don't know what kind of crazy you're just going to take advantage of the fact that you're just locked in a cage. And so it definitely could go from a well that sucks moment to just a ooh that's a scary moment. The force was too much. Oh no, don't tell me it's going to be, oh, just know where this is happening. Wow, that just disintegrated, but good save, man. And I certainly didn't feel as though that was going to happen. I thought she was just going to be laying on her back in about a second, but no, she completely just stood up at the last second, or I don't even know if she realized it or not. But look at this, the first like kind of bucket, she stood up and then the whole thing just disintegrated. That is crazy. There must have been something completely wrong with that chick, because the fact that it continued to dismantle itself after she wasn't even touching it, well, there certainly has to be something wrong there. And yeah, you can even see at the start here, the amount of flex when she first sits on it, just kind of rocks back and forth. That is insane. Let's be honest, there has to be something wrong with the chair. It should be able to support people, because even though she wouldn't be considered petite, at the same time, really, a chair should be able to support a human being like that. And so yeah, that definitely does suck, and really, it would be so embarrassing at the same time. Man, I just would not want to be her, because obviously in this happening, you would never mean for it to happen, because, well, one, it makes you look, well, just not the greatest, and at the same time, you're just kind of breaking other people's property, and that's the entire thing. I don't know how that works. And look, maybe that's why they have their security footage, but like I already said, it was lucky that she had good reflexes, because people can actually get pretty hurt from falling off chairs, especially a stool. But hey, to move the attention away from the main focus in this video, you gotta love the way the guy just swooped in and cleaned up the mess. It was pretty impressive just how he just went, okay, I'm just going to move this out of your way, don't mind me, just so obviously something went wrong here, and I'm just going to not make a scene about it or anything like that. And so what can I say? It's definitely a lucky situation that they ended up in, but really, it's definitely at the same time just a well that sucks, because it just does. Boyfriend decided to try out a new hairdresser. Oh no, that doesn't even look like the same person anymore. Look at that, the entire just shape and everything's been changed, and like you even lost kind of the little bit of lighter bits and surfy blonde bits or whatever you want to call them. It really just looks completely different. You even just lost a little bit of the shape to the hair. You know, the one on the right just looks so much straighter, where the one on the left just at least has a little bit of style to it. I mean, I'm sure the one on the right would probably work for someone, but no, doesn't work for this guy. This poor guy has been absolutely violated with his haircut, and really, you'd just be going to another one and just back to your normal one and just going, please help, just please fix this atrocity that this other hairdresser has done to me. And that is always the thing with hair that just makes it all that sucks, because here it's only temporary, and yeah, it will grow back on. It's definitely not the end of the world, but then again, at the same time, you just have a style that you think's going to work if you're going to be changing, or do you just want to be having the same thing? And so the entire process of getting a haircut, especially at a new place, is just a massive trust exercise, because they really could just do this to you and just, well, completely ruin your day. And it's also the awkward situation where you go, hang on a second, this isn't what I wanted, this isn't what I paid for, and so really, do I get my money back? Even though you have spent the time, and I understand that your time is money and everything like that, at the same time, really, this is just not the right product, because if you were to buy virtually any other actually material goods item and it's to completely the wrong thing, you can generally just exchange it or return it at least, but really with hair, you just don't have that option, especially when it's just getting shorter, because you go, well, there's nothing else to work with, I can't do it. I mean, perhaps you could go back in and just go, look, just give me a number 2 and number 5 or whatever you want to be doing, just get all over, you know. Hopefully there is absolutely nothing that they could stuff up with a buzz cut, but at the same time, you just go, oh, I just don't know if I want to be ever going back there, and you just have a stale taste in your mouth, and so you just got to out of pocket and out of hair. And so look, unless you want to go back and be getting hair extensions or just completely change your entire look, you're just going to have to live with it for a couple of weeks or maybe a month or two and just see how it grows back out, because at the same time, it isn't the end of the world, and really, you'll probably just get used to it within a couple of days. You'll mean to obviously be reminded of it, but hopefully this the front side actually looks a little bit better, so you're not reminded of it too much. It's just going to be your girlfriend that actually just has to stare at that monstrosity. Autopilot brain. Oh no, that is just such an unfortunate thing. I mean, it definitely makes sense, because I can understand why a company would want to be actually named that, being staples and whatnot, but no, it's always a fine print that gets you. Look at that, number 1 non-skid paper clips. I mean, I do have to give it to Staples in terms of the company. If they did put a giant paper clip on the front as well as Staples, so even though your brain is just kind of looking at one and going, oh cool, Staples, and just grab it off the shelf, but at the same time, you know, they did actually do the right thing. They didn't just put a little bit of, oh, number 1 non-skid paper clips down the bottom. But no, I just absolutely love this one, because it doesn't have to be Staples, it doesn't even have to be paper clips or just anything to do with that, but everyone has had that moment where you just go, oh, I bought the wrong thing, you know, whether it be milk chocolate, dark chocolate, whatever it might be. I don't know why that came to mind, but surely everyone has had a moment where they just go, oh, I just bought the wrong thing, and now I have to go back to the shops in another time, or do I even bother now if I really need them? I mean, I didn't need this thing, do I return it? Just all these different thoughts about the entire situation that you're just gonna stuff it, not bothered, I'm out of here, I don't want to be doing this thing. I mean, I guess at the same time, paper clips and Staples kind of do accomplish the same thing, one just a little bit more permanent than the other, but hey, if you do just want to be able to hold paper together, then well, look, you come to the right place. But to be honest, if you know you're going to be going through Staples, just don't ever let yourself run out. You know, you're going, okay, I just filled it up, I'm getting a kind of low, and so next time I'm at the shops, I'll just grab some real Staples, not some paper clips. And so in that regard, regard, you're just able to completely avoid this entire situation. You're not rushed, you just know the entire product, and even if you did buy paper clips, you go, oh, I guess I'll just grab the real things that I need next time. And really, it is the fact that that entire sentence just sums up this situation. That you know, you can't blame anyone else. Like I said, they've clearly put a paper clip and words on the front. I mean, yeah, they put staples as well, but in that regard, you do have a 2-for-1, and so you just be going, oh, I can't blame anyone else but myself. Yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I want to be able to blame the companies because that's their name and that's annoying, but at the same time, you just go, oh man, it just, I wish I just could have been better than this. But hey, I can only imagine that looking at that stapler, that they are completely out of staples, and really, they just certainly didn't buy the right things. And so it is definitely a well, that sucks moment. If you just need those staples and you just go, oh, like I said, it just would just kind of taint the entire day. And really, that's just what this entire sub is about. Just all of the little things that can add up to you just going, stuff it, I'm not dealing with this anymore, I'm just going to deal with it tomorrow when I'm at the shops. Or perhaps you just leave it all behind you going, I'm never going to be touching this again. I mean, I feel as though with a stapler, you might not be doing that because everyone's probably going to be using a stapler somewhere in the future. Or actually, to be honest, that is a good question. I wonder how stable sales are going ever since PDFs and things have come out. But either way, it's definitely a well, that sucks kind of moment. So I can certainly have a little bit of empathy for this person that just kind of bought the wrong thing because they just were a little bit blind. Or not really blind, but just like they said, they're just a little bit thick. And so now finally for the top of the month for well, that sucks, we have spent 5 hours getting chemotherapy this morning. Came home feeling like crap. Laid down to map, alarms and sirens start blasting. Rushed 5 cats to the basement and prep shelter to go outside to see this in my subdivision. Now first of all, before I even play this video, we obviously know what it is about. There is a tornado and this person is on chemotherapy and all those things are just combined. Those are not little things by themselves, kind of like the last one. I feel as though this is just a massive step up, and this happens every single time we're on that well, that sucks. You know, I just feel as though the top host just completely blows everyone else out of the water, and for good reason, but at the same time, I just never feel as though things of this magnitude belong on well, that sucks. And so I'm always in a paradox about, hang on a second, this is definitely a well, that sucks, but it's just over well, that sucks. So is it well, that sucks? So is it top of the month? And so I just never really know. But anyway, let's just see what kind of just massive tornado and destruction this is going to be doing. My goodness, look at the size of that thing. Oh, and just those creepy sirens in the background really just irks me out. To be honest, I have heard some more haunting sirens in the past, just with kind of the tsunami, or well, I don't really know what they are, but just these ones that are just completely random instead of just being a tornado one. But that is just crazy. Look at that thing. And also, obviously, there's a whole bundle of houses around, so I don't really understand how this person is saying that it's in their subdivision, but I'll just take their word for it. But oh man, that is absolutely insane. The fact that there's lightning and literally a tornado, just a massive destructive force of nature, just literally right there in your backyard, apparently. That in itself is just a well, that sucks moment. I mean, obviously, I'm hoping that nothing got destroyed at your house, unless it did suddenly turn, which of course they can do, but really it looks as though it's moving from left to right of the screen, so perhaps it did just kind of skirt around, so hopefully you're lucky in that department. But really, you were just going through so much stuff, you know, like I said, you got chemotherapy, you got 5 cats for some crazy reason, and obviously the entire day has just been stacked up against you. You know, you've just gone out for chemo and then you come home to this craziness. That is just insane. And then you have to deal with 5 cats in a basement and just worry about your entire house. Oh my goodness, I cannot imagine the stress and just everything that this person is going through. And so I feel as though I was fairly fair with my assessment of the entire thing, just by saying this is just not a well, that sucks kind of post, and I don't get where the line is. You know, it's a very blurry line and there isn't really a just defined line, but at the same time, really, this is just a not well, that sucks. I know I keep saying it, but the fact that this person is on chemotherapy or they're just dealing with a tornado right there, I feel as though those in itself are just well, that sucks kind of moments. Or really, to be honest, like I said, that tornado takes one right turn and all of a sudden it's definitely not a well, that sucks moment. That's just a devastation moment. And so look, I have absolutely no idea where this kind of post in my mind belongs, but honestly, I'm just admiring the fact that this person thinks that this situation that they're in is the well, that sucks moment, and that the situation doesn't qualify for a sub that's a little bit more extreme than this. So really, like I said, you just got to admire kind of, I don't know, the outlook on life to just think that this is a well, that sucks moment. Even just the fact that you didn't just get home and you were doing something else. No, you were about to take a nap or trying to take a nap, and then all of a sudden you just get waken up by sirens. You know, that in itself, like I said, that would be a well, that sucks kind of moment. The fact that you were woken up by tornado sirens, you know, and the thing is just ages away, or I don't know, they're just kind of waking people up because it could be 2 hours away. No, it is literally in your backyard. This person said it was in their subdivision, because for me that actually means they own the land. I don't know if that means something else in the States, but honestly, it just makes me laugh at the fact that this person just thinks that all of this stuff just adds up to a well, that sucks. Really, you just got to admire them, and hey, I guess that's what this sub is good for. You know, you got to admire these people. They are just taking one for the team. And even though we've definitely seen a very broad range from people just forgetting to buy things at the shops to a tornado in someone's backyard, really, it just is a great sub for that. And even though I'm just always torn, I just love it at the same time. But anyway, that is going to do it for the top of the month for well, that sucks. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to the YouTube algorithm things down below. Let me know if you had a favorite post out of any of these. Other than that, we check out awesome posts all over Reddit, so make sure you check some of the other videos out now. Or hey, maybe even just want to consider subscribing so you don't miss out on one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.